Hello. I get asked this question a lot, and it's something that I looked up a lot. How long does it take? When am I going to feel better? How long? What is the time? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it 6 months? Is it okay? So my last video got me to thinking about this. Even with all of my fervor, I'm still healing along with you from the narcissist. I mean, I can't, to say healed past tense would be the ultimate, but I want you to notice that I said healing, and I didn't say I'm healed, because I don't ever want anyone to think I've got it all down to the point that I never have a hard moment, or 7, or 14, right? Hard moments come for all of us. So, a lot of people, I don't want them to look and say, she seems like she's really got it together. I do, because I'm matter of fact on these topics, because I want them exposed, because I'm angry, because I'm mad. I'm mad at the narcissists, all of them. I'm very angry at them for doing this behavior. I'm angry. So I want people not to fall victim, and that's the fervor that you feel. But I feel loud about it. Like I want to yell it, right? But I do still have moments. Tough ones. Yeah, of course. Of course. Because they get in. And you'll have, like I said on the last video, a memory of a year ago. And even if what you start to feel is, wow, I can't believe I let all that happen. That's kind of a moment for me, thinking about last September to now. I'm absolutely floored at how last September unfolded and what I allowed. I'm sorry, monkey. What I allowed, which I would never, ever allow now, because I've come a long way with healing. Now, our systems were shaken, and that doesn't just go away. My landscapers are still outside, so I'm sorry if it's loud. I don't think you could hear it, though. Healing is a very personal journey, and let me explain why. There's a lot involved with it, right? It's what does, first of all, healed mean to you? Let's start there. For me, healed would mean, well, there's a few questions involved in it, right? First, we have to think about what does healed mean to you. The reason that I think I will be healing for a while is because of the following questions that are involved. How much shrapnel are you willing to admit having after being in a relationship like that? Because it is like shrapnel. Things hit you, you're carrying it forward. With how much residual effects, how many residual effects, with how many of those will you be okay? There's a lot to this, and it's hard. What I mean is this. As you go forward and you're trying to heal, would healing to you mean that you never think of him anymore? Would healing to you mean that you are existing in a state of anger all the time towards them? Would healing for you mean you're not crying anymore? All of these things are points that we will pass. I don't cry ever over the narcissist anymore. It's been months and months. That's not happened in a long time. That was a nice part of healing that I went through, and that part's over. But I didn't look at that as, okay, I'm healed now. Because there's other things that you're dealing with from the relationship experience with the narcissist, isn't there? And you have to keep those in mind when thinking, how long is it going to take me to heal? Like I said in the last video, the sooner you get away, the sooner you will start to feel better. and feel like yourself because you're creating space between them. When they have an opportunity to talk in your ear, they're creating trouble already. Even if especially if they're whispering sweet nothings, because now you're going to take that in, you're going to believe that. Your heart responds to the love bombing. It's a habit. They've already done it to you. You get all aflutter. You believe them again for a minute. Oh my God, I did it so many times. Even though his behavior was showing me that he didn't mean the words he was saying, I still loved hearing them, right? You love it. Somebody's loving you. They're telling you this. They're telling you what. Somebody else will love you too and mean it and be genuine and honest and have integrity. Might not happen tomorrow, but it definitely won't happen if you don't allow yourself to at least begin the healing process, which means you have to dissect and admit to yourself what they did to you. Don't deny it. Say it right out loud. I look at this daily planner from last year and I go, that was that day. Ooh, I remember that day. Ooh, I don't want to forget a thing. Because when you start forgetting the bad things that they did to you, that's when you start to want and re-listen to their love bombing attempts as they come back to you with the phone calls and the hoovering and trying to suck you back in. If you get your mindset on wanting to heal, you have to understand that with that comes you need your time without them near you. If they are near you, if they are talking to you and you are still in that and feeling for them, that's giving them a lot of power to enter into your brain, heart, mind, and soul. Don't forget, they got in. They're slick little devils. And especially if you've just broken up, the more you let them back in and you want that phone call, I know you do. I know you do. I know. And you can't help what you want inside. I get that. But I'm here to tell you, every single time you answer them, entertain them, visit with them, talk with them, you are hearing more of the same. You're not having anything proven to you. You're just listening to their words. Anyone can say anything. Anyone can make a phone call. It takes no effort. Anyone can send a text. How are they behaving in their life? They're behaving in ways that will keep you from healing, because you will then have another bad memory to deal with. Now you're healing from that. And this is a lot of the shrapnel I was talking about, okay? You're going to pile things on. By the time I was done with this narcissist, I had piled so many bad memories and bad times on top of each other. I'm still working to heal from incident 1, incident 0, as incident 0, I'm still working on, that I explained the other day. That's like the first thing. I'm still working on incident 0, and he's done incident 1, incident 2, incident 27, incident 53, incident 487. I'm still healing from this one. Well, if this one for you happened this month, incident 0, say, your first shock wave of disloyalty, if that happened this month, save yourself from the next 486. Because then you can heal. It's just one. Don't keep letting them add up. The more time you get with them, that's all that's going to happen. They're just going to add on up. And you're never, ever still going to heal from this one. They just keep, it's like getting, it's like paintball, right? Right? How can you heal? You can't stop. You're spinning around. I've never been to paintball, but I've seen it on TV. That's kind of how it is with these narcissists. They just, and once they realize that you accepted one thing, it's, how do they say, free for all. They know you'll take it. They know you will take it. even if you're at your wit's end and you think, I can't handle anymore, they've seen you take it. They've seen you accept their bad behavior. They've seen it. It's not going to get better. Oh my God, it's not going to get better. They're not going to call you and suddenly be okay and mean what they say and follow through on their promises. And why? If they're a narcissist, they're a narcissist. They're not going to suddenly do a 180 and be the man you want them to be, or woman. No, that's been proven. That ain't happening. Ain't happening. I never use the word ain't, but it ain't happening. Not in this situation. How long it takes to heal from the narcissistic abuse is something we're all desperate to put our hands on. And people always come up with formulas, right? I swear a woman came up with this just to give friends an answer. Well, it takes, as long as you went with them, it takes half that time to get over them. And you hear all these different formulas. The bottom line is this. It is a very personal thing. It might take you 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. But I can tell you this for sure. Time and space between you and the narcissist will aid and improve your healing time that much more. It'll make it quicker. It'll make it easier. Ripping the Band-Aid off like that is hard. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to miss them. You're going to cry. You're going to want to give them another chance because you're hoping. But I think we've covered that. And I will make more of it. I'm not done talking about that hoping for change thing because people will always do it. And I want to make sure people realize that they should not. So the sooner you create time and space between you and your narcissist, the sooner you will be on your road to healing. That I can promise you. That I can tell you. When you are separate. When you're separate. If you're still involved with them, like all the months I tried to talk with him and be friends, that was adding more burden, adding more hurt, keeping him in my face, in my ear, in my mind, love bombing me every phone call. Even though I wouldn't back and I wasn't accepting it, I'm still hearing it. So I think deep down inside it's like, oh, he's still saying all those things. Maybe I think it's just automatic. Even though I would tell him, shut up. But inside, I'm like, oh my God, he's saying it all again. Maybe it really is. I don't know how that lasts as long as, it's, like I said, it's very personal. But I can tell you this. If I had stopped last September, where I was on disaster date number 487, and many of them happened in September, if I had stopped, I would have been much better off by this past April than I was. Like, I kept talking to him through the winter and having him stop by here for it just delayed my healing. It delayed my healing. So now I haven't seen him in 6 months, and it's quite a punctuated difference than the 6 months between September and this past March. From March to now is quite a different 6 months because I kept letting him come around from September to this past March. So now March to now, and then from now until next March will be another glorious 6 months because now I'm getting that much further away. That is the one thing I can guarantee you about healing, is that it does take time and space away from your narcissist. So if you are new going through this, try to maintain your strength when they're coming at you to get back together or to have a conversation or let me just explain, because we already talked about what they're doing when they're coming back at you. They'll say it's all about you, but they're having a bad day. They need someone. They need their ego lifted. They need something, massaged because they're feeling bad or life is bringing them down. And don't let them go find somebody else. Be careful.